If we're all going to be saved as a people, it is going to be because all of us here step up and save ourselves, and that starts with the states. Starts right here in Ohio. President Trump is reviving our conviction in America. We require a leader here at home who will revive our conviction in Ohio. And that is why today I am honored to announce that I am running to be the next governor of a great state at the heart of the greatest nation known to mankind, the state where I was born and raised, the state where Apurva and I raise our two sons today, a state whose best days are still ahead. I am honored to announce my candidacy to serve as the next governor of the state of Ohio.
Born in Cincinnati, Ohio, Vivek Ramaswamy's story is one of ambition and innovation. Raised with a blend of traditional values and a forward-thinking outlook, he has built a reputation for challenging established norms in both the business world and in public. His journey began in the heart of Ohio, where the seeds of his entrepreneurial spirit were planted early on. His educational path took him through some of the nation's top institutions, giving him both an academic foundation and an exposure to diverse ideas. Before stepping onto the political stage, Ramaswamy made his mark as an entrepreneur. He founded companies in the biotech and life sciences arenas, and he quickly became known for his innovative approaches to business management. His career has been characterized by a drive to disrupt conventional practices, particularly in how corporations interact with social and political issues. As an author, his writings, including his bestseller that critiques modern corporate practices, have sparked conversation across a range of audiences. This mix of business acumen and provocative ideas now forms a central part of his appeal as he transitions into public service. Vivek Ramaswamy has recently announced a run for governor of Ohio, and his platform centers on infusing entrepreneurial energy into state government. His campaign website, vivekforohio.com, outlines a vision where government efficiency, economic growth, and technological innovation are prioritized. In his messaging, he stresses the need for a government that not only supports local business and job creation, but also remains accountable and transparent to the people of Ohio. Whether discussing regulatory reforms or the importance of modernizing state infrastructure, his approach is consistently framed by a belief in free market principles and individual empowerment. In media appearances, including discussions featured on outlets such as Fox News, Ramaswamy has addressed questions about his outsider status and his transition from the boardroom to the political arena. He often emphasizes his record as a self-made entrepreneur and argues that this background uniquely qualifies him to bring a fresh perspective to state government. His critics, on the other hand, question whether his business approach can translate into effective public policy. Regardless of one's perspective, his campaign continues to generate debate and invites voters to reconsider what qualities are most important in a governor. Ramaswamy's proposals include measures intended to create a more business-friendly environment in Ohio, an agenda that calls for deregulation in certain areas, incentives for technological innovation, and reforms aimed at reducing bureaucratic hurdles for entrepreneurs. This economic focus is positioned as a pathway to stimulate job growth and improve overall quality of life for Ohioans. Additionally, his campaign highlights the importance of transparency and accountability in government. By drawing on his experiences in the private sector, Ramaswamy argues that a leaner, more efficient state administration can lead to better decision-making and enhanced public trust. His vision for Ohio is one where government is responsive to the needs of its citizens, balancing fiscal responsibility with bold, forward-thinking policies. While he has been vocal on topics that many consider controversial, his campaign materials stress that his positions are rooted in a commitment to individual liberty and a desire to reduce what he sees as excessive governmental intervention. His message is designed to resonate with voters who are looking for a break from traditional political dynamics and a promise of change built on the principles of innovation and accountability. What does all this mean for Ohio? If elected, Ramaswamy envisions a state where economic dynamism is reignited by policies that empower local businesses and reward innovation. His proposals suggest a shift toward a more decentralized model of governance, one that leans on the strengths of the private sector while ensuring that public institutions remain transparent and effective. This vision is intended not only to attract investment, but also to create an environment where every citizen has the opportunity to thrive. It's important to note that Ramaswamy's candidacy has already sparked varied responses across the political spectrum. Some supporters view his entrepreneurial background and outsider perspective as exactly what Ohio needs to break free from entrenched political practices. Others remain skeptical, questioning whether the methods that made him successful in business will be as effective in the realm of public policy. Throughout these discussions, the focus remains on evaluating his track record, his stated priorities, and how his proposals might translate into real-world outcomes for the state. As we continue to monitor the evolving political landscape in Ohio, it's clear that the debate around Ramaswamy's candidacy is multifaceted. His journey from the private sector to the gubernatorial race is emblematic of a broader trend in American politics, where unconventional candidates are challenging traditional pathways to office. Whether his campaign will resonate with a majority of Ohio voters is yet to be seen, but it undoubtedly adds an interesting dimension to the state's political narrative. Vivek Ramaswamy's run for governor of Ohio is characterized by a blend of business expertise, a commitment to reform, and a vision for economic and governmental innovation. Drawing from his roots in Cincinnati, his academic and professional achievements, and his clear stance on promoting efficiency and accountability, Ramaswamy is positioning himself as an agent of change. As voters weigh their options, his campaign invites everyone to consider what it means to bring a fresh, business-minded approach to state government. Whether you're a longtime resident of Ohio or watching from afar, understanding the background and policy positions of every candidate is essential for a healthy, democratic process.
The second industrial revolution, and that Ohio will be a significant part of that. How do you make sure Cleveland is part of that movement, since so much of the growth seems to be happening right now in central Ohio?
It's a great point. So my responsibility as governor is not just to increase the GDP of this state. We're going to do that. But more importantly, to make sure that it is lifting up all parts of this state. Yes, from Columbus, but from over the Rhine in Cincinnati to the inner city of central Cleveland to Toledo to the foothills of Appalachia. My job as a leader is to lead the entire state. Think about Cleveland's heritage. Cleveland was a steel capital of the world. Think about where Cleveland is positioned. I mean, this is a city that is ripe for a revival to not just lead the state, but to lead our region in an economic revival of a kind that we haven't seen in nearly a century.
If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.